have one of those days you just wish you'd never gotten out of your tent? Well, I just pulled an inReach forecast, which for the record, I have not had very good luck as far as that being reliable, whatever source they pull from. It says that I'm just going to have rain and wind until the afternoon, so plan is to go. It's clear for the moment. I'm going to get up on the ridge, and I have a series of bailouts set where I can jump down. That's still going to be quite a descent to get down below tree line, but it actually started raining on me last night while I was cooking dinner. It didn't rain too hard, at least while I was awake, but that wasn't long. I was pretty trashed. I love this pack, but I keep forgetting to seal these up somehow when I'm in town. They're for hydration bladders, but unfortunately, that's the one way moisture seems to make it into the pack. So if I have my fleece just jammed in here, not in a stuff sack, it can get wet. I am a firm believer that hydration bladders are basically the equivalent of the Sawyer Mini. Situationally useful, however, a horrible idea, and you should not let your friends do them. I have led a lot of trips through Sierra Club, and I've seen a lot of those things burst, flood the pack, end up empty when we needed water. I've seen like icicles. I've had one break on me and ended up with like an icicle going down the back of my pack that I didn't notice. And in one memorable event, somebody filled theirs before the trailhead. And we were going out for a snow survival thing. We were going to be like camping for a couple of days, and it managed to fill my boots. This was another ideal camp as far as I felt like I was out here all alone, which is what I'm after. I have met the occasional person who does this but hates camping, which I just don't get. To me, camping is the kind of reward at the end of the day. I'm warm, I'm dry, I've got all my stuff, and I sleep better in the tent than I do back in civilization most of the time. As long as I have my phone and power, I can keep myself productive. I always have a backlog of stuff to do. So yeah, I basically look forward to being in the tent at the end of the day. So if I have to set up around a bunch of other people, that kind of detracts from one of the high points of the day. These days, even the CDT is getting crowds inside the bubbles. I mean, when I got to Glacier, that hostel had 30 plus people in it. It was like a flashback to the Appalachian Trail. Never mind the Arizona Trail this spring, where the reputation was you see nobody, maybe the occasional person, and yet we had 10 to 15 people starting every day. I had to skip 4 camps because they were all occupied one night. I talked to somebody who did it just a couple of years ago, Gorf, and she was blown away. I bring this up because I've been looking ahead on far out comments, and basically at the end of this ridge, the CDT and the Colorado Trail come together, and the Colorado Trail, being shorter, more straightforward, etc., gets a lot of traffic, and there's notes from people coming the other way basically going, yay, no more campsite contention, things like that, and then talking about how the trail goes to crap, because Colorado Trail is much more maintained than the CDT only sections. Plus side, I get people to talk to. Also, for the record, Argentine Spine, or however you pronounce it, stayed up on the ridge. If I hadn't had concerns about weather and altitude, that would have been way, way easier than dropping down here. I will meet back up with it in about 2 miles up at just under 13,000 feet. So yeah. Plus, it was a ridge walk that looked really, really straightforward, like when I was coming off Edwards. Well, this is one way to warm up quickly. It's just gonna really suck if I get up the 13K and then I have to bail right back down here. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. In retrospect, I think this post was obviously pointing to a new reroute, but it's not reflected on the actual track in the Far Out app. I didn't see anything continuing on up, so I followed the track I had. CDT Redline. Never change. Tell me again how the AT is the harder of the Triple Crown. In other news, this would be reason 85 why Southbound's kind of the way to go out here if you want to do the red line. I had seen a comment by somebody saying that they had gone up but hadn't exactly followed the red line, and so I cut off to the left thinking that that looked like it was going to go. This part has kind of sucked. Really got to watch my footing. Yeah, I'm not too happy being on this. All I need to do is get over on that, but this is just super sketchy right here. I would be home free if I got to the darker rocks, but yeah, I don't like this. Too high a consequence. Yeah, I was so close. I'm looking at other options, but I may actually have to backtrack to do this safely. All of this is just rotten. It took me a while to work my way down from that, and I wasn't happy with myself. This is right at the angle of repose. Anything that slides really slides. Man, I'd call myself a fairly experienced scrambler, but that was nerve-wracking getting down. I had to be careful going up, and down was way worse with a 25-pound pack off my back. I'm looking around trying to see if there's anything, but this all looks so rotten. Looks like the red line actually goes a little further to the right. I'm going to check it, but if there's anything sketchy, I'm just going to go down and figure out a low route. As much as I'm going to hate going down that road. I actually used to vet my climbing partners when I did, serious mountaineering-y type peaks by the willingness to turn around when things got questionable. Because, maybe I could have tried it, maybe it would have been okay, or maybe I would have been laying at the bottom of this, but my gut was that that was not a slope I wanted to be on. Okay, so I'm not the only person to come up here. Sure sign of a thru hiker. So I followed that because it felt like that was the easy angle. Yeah, you can see over up there, it looks like the slope just goes up. Looks like the red line actually comes up here, and I missed it, so I can play around on this hillside all day. I'm gonna check it, and then if this doesn't go in a way I like, it's gonna be officially plan B. So at least so far, coming back over and coming up here works. I guess that's the red line, and it's just on me. I might be sending a letter to the CDT organization saying this doesn't seem like it belongs on the red line. That traverse would have been fatal on a fall. Shit. This is probably it. Yeah, I am not happy with myself right here. That traverse, like this part is one thing, but there's a part there where no good hand grips. And if you'd fallen, you'd end up where that water bottle I found was. God damn it. I made it by third class hit up the rocks at the end, but this is ridiculous as a red line. I saw a note from somebody that basically went up that hillside. Maybe that's better, but I don't know. And maybe I've just lost my nerve since my scrambling days, but I'm still shaking. Way too much of that was on slidey stuff. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe they did some sort of a reroute and just haven't updated far out. Those guys are out here looking for goats. They were nice enough to listen to me rant for a minute. Oh, I am not happy. And so much for getting an early start. 9 o'clock. My stomach has also just been roiling this morning. Already dug 2 cat holes. Still won't settle down. There has to be some longer way around. Switch backing up behind the mine or something. Those posts weren't real clear. And I only saw the one at the very start and the very end. Even that one arguably is pointing towards that cliff. Oh, I really don't need this today. Just had to dig a 3rd cat hole. I'm nauseous, but it's not unusual in the morning. Haven't been able to eat much, but that's not unusual at altitude. I'm back up at 12 or 13. If I was in the trees, I might just throw my tent up and wait it out. Ever have one of those days you just wish you'd never gotten out of your tent? There's a pair ahead of me that I think came across the spine. At this point, the first bailout was still about 4.7 miles up ahead. Damn it. There is the nice, safe road walk alternative I could have taken today. You know, other than the water wasn't safe. No thunder yet, but this would be better if I didn't feel like I was going to throw up. It's starting to snow. Came over here to hide from the wind. Shouldn't have gotten out of my tent today. Snow's doable. I'd rather have that than rain. No thunder yet. Otherwise, I can jump down here. There's one more big up, get up above 13, do some little stuff, and then if I need to get off immediately, I can. That goes back where I was. So today was all for a waste, but might just have to be the option. I started up the side of Geneva thinking I'd just get up and over and then maybe come down the road, and then I just had to make the call. The wind was just about knocking me over, my stomach was in a knot, and I was about to have to dig another cat hole, and the wind chill was just getting brutal. Between the topo maps and spending time looking down at the western slope as I was on the ridge, I was fairly confident I could make something work, but it was going to be nasty. 1,500 feet straight down cross country. But going forwards and backwards on the ridge to the other known bailouts were going to have their own negatives, and I had to make a call, so down I went. Well, this does really suck. On the plus side, cat hole number 4 would have happened on the top of that 13er exposed to the wind. Okay, I think we're just going to classify that as having given it the old college try. I've got my tent set up. I've got a little bit of extra water. Got a few cat holes pre-dug just in case. I'll see what I can do in the morning.